Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to North Shore 9 Podcast presented by FanDuel. This is Bucko Brew, powered by the Fair Coffee and Tea. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Ryan.
Good morning, DiNardo.
What are you doing here?
What is up? I don't know. I just showed up. I got up early. I figured, let me see what DiNardo's up to. The Buccos just swept the Brewers, the first place Brewers. Why not join in it this morning?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? We started this back 10 years ago when the Pirates stunk. Might as well come on when they're above 500.
That's right. And Jim is off. I don't know. Jim has a tea time somewhere in Indiana. So that's why I'm here. It's the All-Star break for Jim. As well.
Yeah, apparently. I have a work retreat. Okay, cool. I'll be up at 7 a.m. talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's right.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, though, are 3 games above 500. Ryan, warn everyone. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 3 games above 500 right now. What is going on? What is happening?
I don't know. It was a good weekend for the Pirates. It was a good series. This team has just been yo-yoing for 2 months, back and forth, 500, 1 game up, 1 game below, 500. And they finally get, not, I guess, and say like they went on an 8-game tear, but it was like they finally get somewhat hot and the All-Star break hits. So that's typical. But hey, we keep saying they're hanging around, and now they're 3 games up at the All-Star break, which is, I think, better than where most of us thought they'd be. And I don't know, maybe you get hot in the second half a little bit and make some deals at the deadline, and maybe you hang around for a little bit. But yeah, they're definitely hanging around. Like this team is, I've gone back and forth on the blog, like, this isn't the year. They're a year away. And then I'm like, oh, well, they could get hot. They're hanging around. And it's just, we've been doing that. So I think the way you look at it, it depends on how you look at it. Like, do you believe this team has enough to do something or not? But I chose optimism this morning, and it's a little easier to do that because they're coming off a sweep of the Brewers. So yeah, optimism.
It's honestly like a good way of putting it. No matter what viewpoint you have, you can use this team to back up and support that viewpoint. Well, they're terrible. Just look at that bullpen. I mean, you can't get to the playoffs. You can't be successful with a bullpen like this. Check. Correct. This team's destined to be good. They have the number 1 offense in baseball. They just need to make a trade. They could be there. Correct. Check. Like any viewpoint, like I said, and that's why, ironically enough, too, we've been saying this for some time. That's why a team like this is just so frustrating, because you can see all shades of gray here, or sunshine, or darkness, or whatever it might be. You know, again, like after this 3-game series, it's the Milwaukee Brewers. Like, they're a good baseball team. It's not just because of a certain division, because also this division is rather good. 4 teams above 500 in this division still. It's the Milwaukee Brewers are a good team. You come in the PNC Park and you don't even sweep them. You just annihilate them. I mean, that's a good team, right? So
maybe
it's just like I said, it's a frustrating ball club, because in baseball, I guess what I'm getting at is, like, in football, a good team loses like 3 games all year. The winning percentage is ridiculous. Like, even the best teams are just winning 6 out of 10. You know, so you still lose like a lot of games per se, you know, in the grand scheme of things. So, I mean, you're always going to have these few wins, few losses here and there, right? You're always bouncing back and forth. But again, at the end of the day, the ultimate thing that we want to talk about here is this was a team that, you know, they had some losses here. You have a tough schedule coming up. It easily could be like 2 games below 500, Ryan. And I don't think you and I would be surprised, but I also don't think you and I would be looking at this like, well, it's definitely not the year. I mean, it's still possible. Being 3 games over 500, though, is a much different feeling than 2 games below.
Yeah, yesterday was a big game. I mean, you don't want to say like 1 game is a must-win game or whatnot, but that's the difference between one game up at the break or 3. It was a big game, and they came out, and my goodness, they hit in that 4th inning for like an hour, and they win 14-5. And the thing I keep coming back to with this team is they've lost guys. Like, they got a ton of guys on the IL, especially the hitters. The pitching's been struggling. The bullpen's bad, but like they just keep hanging around, and every time we kind of write them off, they bounce back. Like they're resilient, bounce, whatever word you want to use. But I keep going back against the divisional teams. Like you mentioned how good the division's been. Besides the Cardinals, like they've been pretty good against the division this year, and obviously very good against the Brewers, who's in first place. I think we're 4-3 against the Cubs on the season. So like you've beaten the division teams. Now this year they don't play division teams like 20 times like they used to or whatever, but they just they keep hanging around against the teams they in their division and everything, and they keep winning. And I don't know, get healthy. You got to make some moves. Like this deadline is going to be huge. I think at this point, I think they showed it with the trade last week that they're going to be buyers. I think we can, unless they go on like a 10-game losing streak or something here to start the second half. But I think they're going to be buyers for sure. And yeah, you have to go get some arms. But like look at Saturday, game 2. Pirates take a 3-2 lead in that 6th inning. Nobody thought that, okay, we're going to need some more runs because the bullpen's not going to hold this. Yet somehow they did. So like this bullpen's bad, but then like every once in a while they can hold a lead like that. And it's just no one's expecting it to, but they somehow pull it off. And then game 1, they throw Majinski for 3. And so it's I don't really know how they're doing it with the bullpen, but every once in a while the bullpen shows up and can put some zeros up, and then they have their stinkers too. But yeah, you have to improve the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely, without a doubt, you have to improve the bullpen, because even though they have played better recently, playing better doesn't mean you're playing good. And it's again they've played better, but yeah, they had the moments like you don't trust it. And luckily this weekend it was fine, it worked, thank God. The offense, of course, also helped in a bit of that. As Merlin Valdez really helps with a lot of that. But you're right, man. Again, I think the word you toss around is resilient. Like that's what this team is. Somehow or another, Ryan, this team went from the offense they had last year, which was terrible. Terrible. Right. I mean, the offense in baseball, you could argue, is the second worst, whatever. It's definitely the bottom 2 in offense last year. And so right now they've played 97 games. All right. If I were to tell you that O'Neal Cruz is going to come into this year and he's going to put up a phenomenal season, and again, like he is, whether you look at it, he's hitting 264, 350, slugging 472, a 124 win runs created plus, 1.6 WAR, but that's also in just 64 games. I mean, he's missed 30 plus games or hasn't played in 30 plus games this year because of injury and such, right? That's kind of a loss. Spencer Horwitz, also, Spencer Horwitz having an amazing season. I don't think I'm going to be shocked because of what he did last year, but he's having an even better year than last year. Spencer Horwitz, 280, 386, 455 with a 133 weighted runs created plus, 1.4 WAR, but he's only played in 74 games because he's also injured. Like those are 2 mainstays that are in this lineup. 2 big players. Like you knew if this team was going to be good this year, those 2 are going to be a big part of it. And they've missed, almost a third of the season not being in games. And yet, somehow, Ryan, the Pittsburgh Pirates of 2026 have the most runs in baseball. They have the second best OPS in baseball. Their OPS as a team is 768.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
As a team.
Right, like including Henry Davis, Triolo
on the Pirates.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Last year, one person, and that was Horwitz, sniffed that last year, and that's them as a team.
It's an amazing turnaround, and we've seen bad offense for a long time, and then all of a sudden, this year they're just like you said, best in baseball. Most runs, they're tied with the Nationals for most runs at the break, and it's the pitching that flipped. Like what we're expecting to be the strength that just completely flipped. And we've seen good bullpens in the bad years too, and all of a sudden, of course, this year the bullpen can't do anything right. But yeah, you have to kind of pull another rabbit out of your hat and try to fix this bullpen in less than a month. But I wanted to kind of, as we talk about this first half and everything, DiNardo, there's 3 categories the Pirates players lead. I think Baseball Reference does the NL in at the break. Do you know what those 3 categories are, or what players?
Say this again.
So there's 3 players that lead a National League category, like a stat category. Do you know what, like Baseball Reference does it? The stat would be
like by
bold if they
WAR,
lead.
slug, like yeah.
So there's 3 different Pirates, and they lead the NL in 3 categories. Do you have an idea?
Well, if we're going just NL,
and it's tough because, like you said, everybody in the lineup has missed time. Like Ryan O'Hearn's missed time. Brandon Lyle's missed a little bit of time. Like,
I mean, I would assume, is it Nick Gonzalez of batting average?
No, he's at 308. I think Otto Lopez is way ahead of him.
I think so too. But I'm trying to, if someone's going to lead it, I mean, he doesn't lead in hits then, does he?
No. All right, let me just tell you these, because you probably aren't going to get it.
I would say, on base percentage, Brian Reynolds, maybe? Is that one? No, he wouldn't.
No.
Soto would.
But Brian Reynolds is one of the players. So we mentioned, like, he's one of the guys that pretty much hasn't missed any time. He leads the NL in games played at 97.
Oh.
And then wait, it gets better. Paul Skeens leads the NL in 20 games started, which is kind of absurd that he's already got 20 starts. And then the third one is Bubba Chandler leads the NL in walks with 55. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Right? I know it's not 3.
I hate you, Ryan, for that.
I know. You're like, on base percentage? Like, no, it's not a main category here.
Yeah, clearly.
But that's it.
That's why I was like,
but it's funny because Reynolds is the only one that hasn't really missed time in this lineup.
Mm-hmm. And like, that's a good thing, because he's been good. Dude's been good. Like, what is a 141 weighted runs created plus he has on this season? Like again, like, what just a resurgence of Brian Reynolds. I mean, he's having one of his best seasons he's ever had. Like, it's not even just like, can he be better? Like he wasn't even a league average hitter last year, technically speaking. Well, he was, but like
he fixed his swing though. He fixed.
Well, he did. People got to laugh at it. He's like, I mean, that was his big offseason thing. He's like, my swing was bad, so I fixed it. It's like, oh, okay.
End of question.
Yeah. Well,
what'd you work on this offseason?
Certainly,
I fixed my swing, so I fixed it. Yeah. That was classic. Yeah, but he did.
Heading into the break, a 143 weighted runs created plus 2.9 WAR.
Yep. But yeah, he's killing it. And you're right. Like, yes, he must have fixed the swing, but he also has dudes around him in the lineup now. Like that 100% has helped him, has helped Cruz. Like, we always wondered, like, well, those guys, we kind of like assumed like it's probably going to help those guys too. Just like see better pitches, be a better hitter. And my goodness, it's definitely worked out for Brian Reynolds. Like, he's been great. And then, Ryan O'Hearn, professional hitter, 16 home runs. Brandon Lyle, 21 home runs. Cruz before the injury, he has 14 home runs with 20 steals. Spencer Horowitz, like, it's everybody. And then you got guys like yesterday, Henry Davis homering, Triolo double, Jake Mangum, 3 hits and a couple steals, and Valdez is just hitting everything out of the ballpark. Like, as Greg Brown said on, I think, Saturday, what is going on? That's what I ask at times.
I don't know.
Right. Nobody does.
But right, again, like this team has such a next man up mentality. That's something that's been lost in Pirates teams for years, for centuries, maybe even some could argue. It's just, like, when you've had guys that have just come up and produced, it's hardly ever. And this year you've pretty much seen it. Like, there isn't too many guys that come in and are just a bad hitter or a bad player. They typically come up and they'll give you something at least, like Tyler Callahan, like another great example. I mean, Tyler Callahan isn't absolutely just like coming up here and being a monster like Esmeralda Valdez, but I mean, I'm going to just, since June 1st, I have some numbers out here. Since June 1st, like, Callahan pitches 84 plate appearances. He has a 102 weighted runs created plus. Like, he's not tearing the cover off the ball per se, but he's a league average hitter. Like typically these guys that come up are just awful, and they're not awful. Yes, like Esmeralda Valdez, we understand what he's doing. Like again, we're talking about since also again, Ryan, like I just can't believe I'm saying this, but since June 1st, Esmeralda Valdez, 87 plate appearances, he has a 207 weighted runs created plus. Like in 23 games, he has a 2. He's 2 times better than league average since June 1st. Like just absolutely clearing it. But like, yeah, Andy Rodriguez, another part of that. Like that's a guy you kind of written off. He comes up 136 weighted runs created plus since June 1st. Like even Jake Mangum. Jake Mangum was the 4th outfielder. There's a lot of discussion if he's even a major league or not. I mean, he's a 29-year-old rookie. Like it's not. Hey, 132 weighted runs created plus since June 1st. Henry Davis, Ryan, since June 1st, a 129 weighted runs created plus.
Is he coming out of it a little bit? It's like it's only slugging with him, which is fine. Like if you're gonna hit 20 home runs as a part-time catcher, I'm good with it. But is that what he is now? Is he figuring something out?
I don't know if he's figuring anything out yet. I'm not ready to crown him anything.
Right.
I'm just okay to say, oh, well, you're not hurting the team. So continue being the backup catcher, continue just kind of doing this, but like at least, hey, everyone, the catcher, like I just told you what Endy since June 1st, Endy a 136 weighted runs created plus since June 1st. Henry Davis, the 129 weighted runs created plus. The catcher position is not, I know it's like the mindset of a lot of people, just like the catcher position is a black hole. The catcher position for the Pirates is terrible. The catcher position's been good, especially of late. It's been good. It's not weighing this team down by any means.
Even Flores, who came up for a hot minute, like he's a home run. He's got like he only had like 12 at bats, but like he has a 800 slugging percentage. Like it's just everybody. You could talk about Marcell Ozuna since June 1st or something too. Like, he's been better, but like,
do you want me to say
everybody, well, right.
117 weighted runs created plus. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
his is also kind of weird too. Like, I feel with Ozuna, it comes in like one game, like yesterday, like it's like one game, big spurt, and then he'll have like 7 clunkers over a 3-week stretch.
Right. And like 14 failed challenges.
Right.
In the first inning.
Right. But regardless, like, yes, I mean, yeah. Ironically enough, you know who the worst hitter is since June 1st? And this is basically if you have 15 plate appearances or higher. No, Triolo is better than this person. Brandon Lau.
I was going to say,
technically speaking, has an 85 weighted runs created plus. Jared Triolo is an 86. So, like, again, also, like, even Jared Triolo in that mix. Like, I understand 86 weighted runs created plus isn't tearing the cover off either, but, like, that's not the 56 weighted runs created plus or, 60 that he's, like, been known to do for. Right. But, yeah, like, technically speaking, the worst hitter on the team since June 1st is Brandon Lau. Crazy.
It is. It is, man. It literally, like you mentioned about, you're like, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It took me a good, probably 2.5 months to writing the blog and takeaways after every game and stuff. Like it took me a good 2.5 months to be like Pirates go down 5-0. Like, Bubba just gives up 5 runs and you're like, this game's over. Like that was the normal mentality. And this offense, it's not that. Like this, it's not over. Like this offense typically will get to almost every starter, unless you're like Christopher Sanchez. They will get a couple runs, 3-4 runs off a starter. They will eventually get to them, and then they add on. They do insurance runs, things we haven't seen in like a decade. And it took me 2.5 months to get out of that mindset where it was like, oh, this offense is just going to go down in order. And it's like, no, this offense is like, it's real. Like it's
Yeah.
legit, real, whatever you want to call it. And it's not just one guy. It's not just that, like it's all of them. And like we just mentioned all the other guys that came up and are performing. And yeah, it really was it's like a shock to like be like, hey, this offense is like it's good. Like look at the numbers. Every offensive category, they're in the top 5, number 1 in runs. But yeah, it took a while to really like be like, I can't believe I'm writing this or saying this. And it was it's been something. And it's just like, yeah, can the pitching just hold it together? And
Right.
I think that like the starting rotation, like on Saturday, Bubba gets hit around. Ashcraft had one of his worst starts. Like, I don't like, I think the All-Star break came at a good time for those guys. And, Skeens pitched good yesterday, went 5 1/3. He didn't really need to go longer in that game because it was a blowout. But like, yeah, like I think just get these guys a rest and a break and a reset. Hopefully will help them. Because that's another thing too. We talk about adding to the bullpen, but there's going to be a lot of innings on this rotation here in the second half. And it's like, are we picking up another starter? Because it's going to be tough to manage all these innings.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Cut away a little bit here. We'll get back to this, but of course, just to tell you about the fair, the sponsor of the show. The fair is a family and employee-owned operated business. They believe that coffee and tea are one of life's simplest and most accessible pleasures, and when enjoyed thoughtfully, can open your eyes to the here and now. They have 5 locations across the city of Pittsburgh, including their flagship in the heart of Pittsburgh's historic Strip District. Don't forget to stop by the fair's new location downtown on Penn Avenue, right across from the Benedum. Grab a cup and fuel up on your walk to PNC Park. Mobile ordering is available. Check out the Instagram for more details. And Ryan, this is Jim's part. I'm not sure. But again, for all those who want to know, if you go to thefair.coffee, you can use the code for your first time purchasing online, NS930. That'll get you 30% off for your first order online. So again, that's NS930 on the website. Get yourself 30% off your first purchase. And again, I love it. As always, in my Bucko Brew mug that you can buy on our merch store on our newly designed website. As always, I forget what what this one's called. But every month I get my new subscription in, and it's outstanding stuff.
You're like, it's good. It's good. That's all you need to know. Because they kind of send you, they know like what you prefer. So they just send you that kind of coffee.
Yeah. And that's also actually what I do love about it too. Like, yeah, you're right. Like if you do the subscription, it'll ask you like light, do you like medium, do you like dark? Like it asks you like what type, and then they just give you all kinds of their roast in that, and they just come. So you get like a different flavor every month. So it's like a surprise me situation. And I love that. Anyways, so yeah, back to this team, man. I want to bring this up also because this was something almost like how you said for the first 2 months is like, I don't know if I'm going to believe this. For the first 2 months, this was their MO. And I think it's something that has stuck with them, even though it's gotten better. Runners in scoring position. I mean, that was like their kryptonite. Yeah, the offense is good, but every time there's every time they need a timely hit, they just fail. And that was, again, like certainly the case. Some numbers out here. And again, this number here is just more impressive of the offense in general. They have the second most plate appearances with runners in scoring position. I mean, all that just means
which is a good thing.
Yeah, they're always doing damage. Like they're always getting guys in scoring position. So that's the start, right?
Clogging up the base,
getting someone in scoring position. So they have 1,092 plate appearances with runners in scoring position. Only Milwaukee's higher with 1,103. Their batting average. Okay, that's I think the first thing people equate to, like when they have runners in scoring position, they strike out. Whether they don't do anything. With runners in scoring position, they have a 262 batting average, which is 8th in baseball. That's not elite. Like I get that. The reason I'm saying this though is this used to be much worse. Like they were like hanging around like 19th in baseball.
Yeah,
they're 9th. I'm sorry, they're 8th. They're 8th in baseball. Like that's not terrible. Like that's not like detrimental. When you look at the weighted runs created plus with runners in scoring position right now, they have a 108 weighted runs created plus, which is tied for 11th in baseball. Again, like this isn't elite stuff. I get that, but where they once were, right? Early in the season, I mean, they were in the bottom third in like a lot of these categories, and now they're kind of creeping up in like top 10 or middle of the pack. So again, like I just want to kind of throw that out there. They've actually been more clutch of recent, and that's what's nice.
So you mentioned clutch, and Fangraphs has a clutch category, a stat that, again, I mean, it basically just says it tells you how much better or worse a player is in a high leverage situation than he would have done in a neutral situation. Now, overall, the whole season, the Pirates are second to last in the majors in this clutch category, which makes sense. Like, we've seen this team. We just talked about it. Like, they haven't been too clutch. Since June 1st, they're a little better, DiNardo. They're 24th in the league. And since July 1st, they are even a little bit better. They're 21st. So, like, I wouldn't say they're clutch. Now, they again, if they like yesterday, they loaded the bases and they just kept scoring, and it was like a blowout at that point. So, like, that clutch probably doesn't even factor into that because they were up so many runs.
True. But it factors into the runners in scoring position like mine. So
right,
you're understanding the differences in here, right?
So yeah, but the clutch category, like close game, a couple guys on, it's a big spot late in their clutch category is not very good, but it is better. So it is better, but they still are all season. They're second to last, which is it makes sense. That's all I can say about that.
No, good stuff. Good stuff. And so, like I said, I put those overall numbers as things because we're kind of wrapping up the first half, but in the spirit of the show, what we've been doing right now, like again, like what they've been doing more recent. Now the runners in scoring position since June 1st. Ryan, as a team with runners in scoring position, again, since June 1st, they're batting 300, 371, 534. That's a 904 OPS with runners in scoring position since June 1st. A 144 weighted runs created plus since June 1st, leading baseball since June 1st. So again, like, yes, what have they done recently? Like, they are good with runners in scoring position. That has not been a problem as of late. So again, I feel like that's something that's been carrying over throughout all the months because that was their MO early on. No, they are doing absolute damage when they have guys in scoring position of recent. So yeah, like you can kind of knock that out right now about when they have guys on, they don't do anything. Oh, typical Pirates. Like this offense, again, going back to your thing, like this offense is just super legit right now. Too legit to quit, they might say.
Too legit to quit. There you go. And I mean, we've seen this before where they go into the break real hot, and it's like, is the break going to cool them off? So hopefully not. You guys will be with the team in Cleveland as the second half starts. So
yeah. Hopefully, again, going back to Jim's comment, like, yeah, I want them to get hot, but hopefully they don't do what they did this other time where they came out of the break and they were super hot and they made a disastrous trade of the century.
Yeah,
Chris Archer.
It was different circumstances then, though.
It was different. It was. I'm just saying. Yeah.
We know.
There's a lot of similarities between the two seasons. Also,
Ben's a lot of things, but I'm not sure Ben is the like, let me just throw this against the wall, aggressive move out of nowhere.
Neither was Neil.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, I don't know what happened. He was desperate.
Two were seeing their jobs on the line. Anyways, again, I'm just fearful of what's coming with Ben trying to maybe save his job. But again, the trade that he just made recently doesn't appear to be a guy who's too concerned about now. So
right. But no, come out in the second half and just win the first 8. And you'll be sitting 11 over, and you'll be in a good spot, and you can make whatever trade you want.
And look, what's funny? Like you say that like somewhat in a sarcastic tone, right? But they faced the Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers like heading into this. It was like, and this is going to be a brutal stretch. How that was our show last week. How are they going to get through this? Like they just have. It was like if they just do what they're doing right now, which was. They're just like slightly below a 500 team, like they're hanging around, but it's not like they're hanging around like a game or two above it. They're kind of hanging around like a game or two below it. It's like they just kind of do that through the All-Star break, through the trade deadline. Like you want to see better, but it's not the end of the world. And again, like the first 2 series, they come out 4-2. Awesome. They go in the break, then they have Cleveland and New York. Like those are the same thing. Like those are 2 strong teams. How are they going to do this? And well, maybe they can.
Yeah. They split that series in Philadelphia, which is, I mean, you'll take that every day of the week. Phillies are a good team. They're facing that pretty much. They're up against them in the wild card race right now. And Yellowbeard here says should have won that game when Jones faced the Braves. That's the thing. There's like 8 games in the first half where you could be like, no, they should have won that. Like they were a 98% win probability and they lost it. And they do. They have games like that. Like they could easily be, you win half that, you're 7 up at the break. You're 8 up at the break. Like who knows? But unfortunately, they lost those games because the bullpen and defense and whatnot. It's just things they have to shore up in this next couple weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to really do that is trades and get healthy and whatnot.
You said get healthy. Yeah. Like speaking of shoring up, O'Neill Cruz, Spencer Horwitz. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be after the All-Star break. It didn't sound that way when Ben was talking about, like immediately, but sometime after the break, sometime before August, he expects those 2 to be back. Now, the other thing too is like this offense doesn't technically need O'Neill Cruz and Spencer Horwitz the way they're.
Do we want them back? That's the question.
Right? I think I said this with Doug on one of the post-game shows. Ironically enough, they could end up being worse offensively when those 2 come back. But yes, technically speaking, those 2 are coming back. So you would think that might help stabilize the offense. I mean, if anything, O'Neill Cruz has been hitting lefties this year. Maybe at least he helps the lefty side of things. So it's not just as abysmal as it's been of recent. But like also Wilbur Dotel is close to returning. So the bullpen, like maybe he helps that as well. So like there are some reinforcements coming that don't include actual trades being made, so like hopefully this team is stabilizing a little bit more than they have, which again, even with that being said, they've not missed a beat with a lot of those guys being out. So yeah, like that's so that could maybe help out this team also. And then you're right, man. Like this team needs some trades, some real legit trades. They just had one that happened on Saturday night, Friday night. Yeah.
Late per Ben Sherrington's MO.
I'm not going to really say too much more about that trade. I'll just, again, like bullpen wise, at least, I don't really think that shores up this bullpen. So like they still need to make something happen to stabilize the major problem, and probably a starter too.
Yes. Yeah. You need at least two trades for that, or whatever you get it in one trade, but they need 2 arms in that bullpen at least. That's like minimum. And then, you're probably going to need a starter or somebody that does both or something, because you got a lot of innings in this first half. And it's that's the, like AAA. I mean, I guess your Urquidy's been pitching better. Like he's been pitching really good at AAA, but he's really the only one.
Sure.
Like everybody else has not been pitching well. So, and Hunter Barco, I think, is on the IL in AAA. So like, you don't have many options. So like, you're probably going to need to go get a starter. So Ben's got some work to do here in the next couple weeks, but like, you don't wait until the night before on this needs to happen in the next week or 2, like couple weeks here, and at least start making the trades. Because they don't need to, you said rough stretch coming up. They need to try to fix something with that. And the guys coming back like Horowitz and Cruz, they'll be back after the break. That's great. That's big. That's nice. But like you said, the lineup's not really missing them right now. Like people are asking DiNardo, is Jake Mangum the glue?
Well,
I mean, he's been balling out, and so has the offense.
I just like, if at the very least though, which again, like Marcel has been playing better per se, but also with that, it just seems it's more, he's playing very sparingly, very sparingly.
That's what I was going to say.
And so with that being said, he doesn't have a whole lot of plate appearances, and it just seems like he has like 6 to 8 games, to avoid myself from saying 6, 7, 6 to 8 games where he just looks bad. And then he has that one game, he just kind of explodes and that kind of normalizes the numbers. But again, like he technically hasn't been killing the team as of late. But what I'm alluding to is like when these guys come back, well, first off, you have some guys like playing the position a little bit more better. You maybe use that DH role a little bit more. So some guys like maybe giving Brian Reynolds a day off onto the DH role since he has played a lot of games. Cruz can get in there. But yeah, like there's just a lot of options that you're going to have at your disposal once those guys come back. And, it definitely deepens the bench. But again, like it's not like the bench has been terrible. I mean, I guess Billy Cook's gone. But again, like Billy Cook has had like 14 plate appearances since like June. It's not like Billy Cook has been detrimental to his team. Like I know he's not good, but I know there's a lot of people complaining about Billy Cook. How's he on this team? Well, he's not really doing much. He's kind of just hoisting a cone. So
right.
he's just the vibes guy. We don't really need him. He's not really doing too much. Like he comes in the 8th or 9th inning to give himself a defensive replacement. That's pretty much about it. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, Crew with these guys coming back, I think his time might be running out. But yeah, you're the cone guy.
To bring something up here, if you want to talk about it, like Urquidy has been pitching better in AAA because that was the one thing too. Like when he went down there initially, he was also terrible. Yeah. But in the past 13 games for Urquidy, 66 innings, he has a 3.68 ERA, a 106 WHIP. So it is an option. I don't know what they do, but like that is an option.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him for a second stint. Like I feel like we've seen everybody in AAA a couple of times. Barco, Cam Sanders is like up and down like you wouldn't believe. But yeah, Urquidy's just been down there. But he's like really the only one. Like they called Harrington up. He never even pitched, but Harrington's got like a 6.5 ERA at AAA. He gets sent back down. But yeah, Urquidy's really the only guy that I think you'd want to try again. So that may happen, but you still you have to make the moves. Like it's just, there's no, like I said, he may be the guy to like help with innings for the starters, but you need somebody, you need a couple guys in that bullpen that you can rely on. Because again, like Soto on Saturday, they bring him in for that save, and it's like, okay, but it was a drama-filled 9th inning with Soto. They got the double play, they got it. But yeah, like you don't really want him being your closer in the second half. Like he can close from time to time, but you don't want him to be. He's not the guy. Like they need a guy.
Yeah, you're right. Like I don't want to say he's been exposed, but he kind of was thrusted into the closer role. I mean, the reason you signed him was because he's a late innings guy who has some closer experience. So like, just have that's nice, but he's not going to be a closer. That's probably Dennis Santana, but he'll get some opportunities, And very early on, he was throwing like, okay, you're the closer now. And he was excellent when he wasn't the closer. He was excellent when he first became the closer, and then it just kind of fell apart. So over his career, he's been fine. I mean, he was an all-star with the Tigers as the closer. He has experience. Like, he's been fine. He hasn't been this bad, in this stretch. So I don't know. Maybe, right? Maybe if they go out there and get someone who's like can be a bona fide closer and get him more in like the role that he's more accustomed to, something he's more doing earlier on the season, he can kind of reform that and get his confidence back, and you can have more confidence in him being in that bullpen. Maybe if he's just not the guy and he's put in better situations, like, hey, we need a lefty up in the late innings, go do your thing, opposed to like, we just need the closer. Doesn't matter who's up to bat. Yeah, maybe he can get better in that sense. Again, I don't believe that Soto's this guy or he's a bad pitcher. I think he certainly can be better than what he's doing. It's just not the role that maybe is fit best for him right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like you said, not exposed, but he was used a little. I mean, they were all used way too often, probably than they really were. The plan was to be. And again, he was good for a while. Like you said, it was like, oh, Santana's the closer. No, it's Soto. And then it was like, no one's the closer. And that's kind of where we're at. Like, so, and again, you don't have to go get Aroldis Chapman, but the Red Sox are red hot. I don't even know if he's available, but you got to get somebody.
But you need kind of like Chapman-esque, right?
Yeah, you need a dude in the ninth inning that you can rely on game in and game out as your closer. And Soto, again, he can do it if you need him to, or late innings, but I think he's definitely well more suited for that, like late inning role setup, or face some lefties, whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't be. They need better. They need somebody else. They need more. And Ben got his trade out of the way, got his shortstop to help while Connor's out, and give Triolo some days off, I guess. But yeah, you got to focus on the bullpen now, Ben.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and kick it on over to Cody, and then we'll finish the show up, talk a little more about this team.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
The Pirates had 6-4-0-0-0 runners in that 4th inning yesterday.
They did, without an out.
Yeah. So I had to go to my niece's graduation party, and I was going to Sharon, so it's like a half-hour drive. And I got my phone. I got the app pulled up, and I thought the app broke, DiNardo. I was getting ready to text you. It was the Pirates batted that whole drive. Like they were in the bottom of the 4th inning that whole drive. I was like
it's
and it just
stuck.
It just kept saying bases loaded, and I was like, what's happening here? Like what? And yeah, it just another run. It was seemed like a fun one.
Well, it's just as wild to watch it too, because like I said in the post game show, and if you watch, you saw. But like Marcell Ozuna. Again, the big game. He had a hit, then he had a home run in that 4th inning. He hit a home run. Marcell Ozuna hit a home run. That was wild in itself. And then he also made the very first out, his next at bat in the same inning. Like, what? He strikes out, and it's like, wow, of course Marcell Ozuna makes the first out of the inning. However, he also hit a home run in the same inning.
Homered in the inning.
Right.
Could have had 2 home runs in the same inning.
Okay, Tatis.
I know, right? But we've had some. I mean, the Ryan O'Hearn game, and then you got Valdez the other day with 8 RBIs in the doubleheader. I mean, we've had some crazy performances this year, just from this offense.
Yeah, and again, it's like it's almost like as the Trout Ohtani meme, right, with the Angels. Something ridiculous as the Angels lose 5-4.
Right.
Like that's kind of been like the Pirates this year.
What it's been.
Because they've done, I mean, all season they've had some things happen, right? Like Brandon Lau had a 3 home run game earlier on as the Pirates lose to the Mets. And it's like that's just kind of frustrating. They've been doing some like incredible things, but they're just kind of hanging around 500 while they do this. Yeah, not so much Angels level like this past years, but yeah, it is kind of funny. Sure. I want to bring up one thing though. I just want to hear your opinion and I'm just going to talk about this now because we're talking about the bullpen. And I was ready to claim Dennis Santana is somewhat back a few nights ago.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were going to call him dead on arrival.
Well, that's the thing. It's so again, kind of the theme right now is MOs that have been sticking all year long. Like Dennis Santana has been very, very bad. But it was like of recent, I felt like he's been better. I feel like his stuff has been better. The slider's been better. He's getting more whiffs, getting more strikeouts. Like he's not himself. He's not like 2025 Dennis Santana.
Right.
But I felt like it's coming along. And then, well, the past few games happen. And it's like, all right, I don't know. I say this because a lot of people, and I would have been on board with it because, again, like it's just not really happening. Thought he was going to be DFA'd with all his transactions. He didn't. He survived it once again. Are we just hanging on to Dennis Santana at this point in time because, like, we're just so hopeful? Or, and again, I'm just asking you this. I don't know if you're thinking too much into it, but like, is there maybe still something in there that needs to be unlocked with Dennis Santana?
I don't, it's tough to say because it seems like the Pirates, they're real reluctant to like get rid of him. Like you said, like there was plenty of chances to be like that. This is it. Like we're DFAing him. We got other guys. I think he could go. I think they would DFA him, but they have to get better guys. And they really haven't done that like to date. Like there are no better guys. So while they're not really, I mean, yes, Don Kelly kind of did still relying on them later in games when they have a lead or something. Like, I don't think it's something the Pirates are, I don't know if it's fixable. And I don't know if the Pirates feel that it is. Like they're hopeful, like, oh, he's going to be the guy in September. Like we can rely on him. We'll fix him. I don't know if that's the hope still from them. I just think they're holding on to him until they get better guys. And they haven't done that yet. I mean, we got Brandon Eisert, but he's a lefty. It's a little different.
Point
but
remains.
Well, right. Yeah. And I mean, you're like you mentioned, Dotel is going to be coming back. Sis should be back at some point. You should make some trades. So like there's going to have to be some guy, Johan Ramirez has been pitching well. He hasn't allowed a run in quite a while, which is absurd.
You know what?
So,
yeah, maybe we can talk about that here for a second too after this. That's wild.
Yeah, but like, and we could talk about that more, but like obviously Soto and Montgomery are going to be there. Majinski, whether he goes back to the rotation or he's, staying in the rotation or staying in the bullpen. You have Matson, who's been better since coming back from AAA. But like, yeah, you're going to have to lose some of these guys if you make upgrades. So I think they're hanging on to Santana until they have better. And if he has to go, like let him go. Like you didn't put much money or anything invested in him. He's not making much. You got him for nothing. So you can get rid of him. Look at this. What a comment from Smitty here around the 412. Nice to see some talent actually on the show this AM. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good comment.
See, Jim.
That's right. That's right. Jim's playing golf.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, that's just the thing. Dennis Santana is just so perplexing right now because he's the guy that he'll go out there and just look really good. And then the next time he goes out there, he just looks really bad. So I don't know. I said, I was willing to. And again, like the biggest reason too is it looked like he didn't have it because he wasn't getting anyone to swing and miss. I mean, that was it was 41, I think, plate appearance, like 41 straight batters without a strikeout. It was like something absurd at one point. He went that long without a strikeout. And again, since we're doing the whole June thing, like since June 1st, he's striking out 10.13 batters per 9. Like the strikeouts are actually up there. He's actually has a lot of swing and miss in his game again. That's why I was getting more encouraged about Dennis Santana. Well, we won't talk about that, but it's 731.
It's not any better. It's worse, actually.
Right.
Because
You
got 5.80.
Well, and again, like the thing about this, when you take away the past 2 games, we gave up all those runs, right? At that point in time, it was like when you take out the Colorado game, the ERA was actually good. Right. And again, right. And with that, that's why I said I want to talk about Dennis Santana, I think might be back without the Colorado game before these past 2 games when I wanted to talk about it. The ERA was fine, but again, it's all the stuff within it that is encouraging, and that's why I said like the walk. The walk rate's a little bit high, but it's also manageable. But like the strikeout rate, he's making guys swing and miss again. That's something he wasn't doing when it all came crashing for him. So that's why, again, like the slider's working a lot better. Like maybe Dennis Santana is finding himself once again. And then, yes, these past 2 games have been clunkers. And now we're talking about the 7.31 ERA, and it's not just without Colorado. So, yeah, again, I don't know. Not to spend too much time on that, I guess, but I wanted to bring them up.
You got some hopium in there. You wanted it to be real, but it hasn't been. And I don't know, maybe if you add a couple bullpen arms in this, they don't have to rely on him, and he can just kind of come in 3 batter spurts and at certain spots, maybe he'll be okay. But it's been bad. It's been bad. So I'm fine DFAing them, but yeah, to date they really haven't felt the need to. But again, I just think it's because they don't really have too many better options.
Right. But yeah. Yohan Ramirez, 0.93 ERA since June 1st and 19.1 innings, 14 games. It's a lot of that one run.
He's an experience, isn't he?
Oh God. Yes. Not in a good way, but yes.
But yeah, he's been better. But he's more of like a 2-inning guy. He's not going to be out there in like the 9th inning or something, closing a game out. But yeah, like Yohan Ramirez, get some arms at this deadline. But Ramirez is going to be part of this bullpen. Like he's earned that for sure. He's got a role.
He does. Like you said, the experience. I don't know how it happens. But oftentimes he comes out there unscathed. He creates a mess and he gets out of it. And at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I guess Yohan Ramirez has a 0.93 ERA since June 1st in 19.1 innings, but he probably allowed like 38 base runners in that time frame too.
Right.
There we are.
That Nationals game, he walked 3 scoreless inning.
Right.
Like it's just, let me load the bases here by nothing but walks and then not give up a hit. Let me get out of it. So.
And that's how it was early on too. I felt like he was in these crucial moments, especially like early on when they're going into extras, right? Like he kept prolonging the game to help this team win, but he did it by allowing, there's already a guy on second when you go into extras, and it was like he would walk a guy, or like a guy would get a hit, he would walk a guy, somehow get like an out, hit a batter, somehow get an out. Get out of that inning, and it's like how do they move on? But
yeah,
he's an experience.
5.4 walks per 9, but then he's striking out over 10 per 9. So
yeah, he has stuff.
Yeah.
Can't harness it.
Right. It's an experience, but again, when you're looking at this bullpen and who's been performing, and he's been getting the job done, and not many of them have. So yeah, he's staying in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Or at least on the team.
So what else do you want to talk about in this wrap up?
I did want to mention, like, you look at the first half as a whole, once you get to the break, and do you remember, like, there was always teams that, like, they'd have a great first half and you'd be like, well, they're like, they've won 20 more 1-run games than they've lost, like it's not sustainable. They're going to fall off, and then they'd fall off or whatever. But like, just looking around, like the Pirates are 14-10 in 1-run games, like not anything crazy. I've mentioned about the division. They're 5-1 against the Brewers, 4-3 against the Cubs. The Reds, they're 6-3 against the Reds, and then the Cardinals 2-5. And so besides the Cardinals, they've been very good against the division. Interleague, they're 16-8 in interleague play, which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing 500 ball on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They're finally 3 up at home, thanks to this last homestand against the Brewers there. But like, yeah, all these numbers, these records, when you get to the, like, they all look sustainable. Like, they're nothing like sticks out where they're like, oh, that's going to regress. They're 3-6 in extra inning games. Like they're not very good in extra inning games. But yeah, like if they keep playing 500 ball on the road, that's a very good sign. And then hopefully you win, more games than you lose at home. But yeah, like it's all looking good there. It's all looking good. New member.
Shout out to Amber for a new member on YouTube, right? But you're right. Like, I guess that's the one thing I talked about earlier on. Like, no matter what viewpoint you have, anything this team does can support it. If you are the mindset of this is a good team, those things that you just mentioned, there's a lot of good in those to indicate this is a good team. Like, again, like this is a team that takes care of business on the road. Usually good teams do that. They're not like home field merchants. Like, oh, this team fits this ballpark and they just feast on it or whatever. And, when they go away, they only win like 38% of their games. Like this team wins on the road. And they've, it's not like they've had a cakewalk. I mean, again, you're talking about almost 100 games. Like it's a large sample. It's not like they just feasted off of the lowly whoever in their division. Again, like, this is a tough division too. Like the Reds are the worst team, and the Reds aren't like a pushover, by any means. So there's just like the run differential as well. Like the run differential is really good. This team, one of the better in baseball. And actually, as a matter of fact, let me pull this up here so I can see it. Where they at? Yeah, like plus 44, which is the 5th best in the NL. Again, you're looking at wild card. 6 teams make it. Like they have the 5th best run differential in the National League. So there's a lot that's going their way. And again, we say this because there's a lot of struggles this team had. And the biggest one is the bullpen. And I feel like if there's the easiest thing to fix at a trade deadline, it is the bullpen. Now you have to do it,
but you gotta pay up. You're gonna have to, you can't try to. Well, we're gonna hold on to everybody. Like you're gonna have to give up something.
But that's if there's something that is your Achilles heel at this point in time. That's the thing that's easiest to shore up to make you become that good team. And that's why I think there is a lot of positive. Again, like that's why this team being 3 games above 500 was kind of important, because they got through this stretch and they're 3 games up. They're just 2 games out of the wild card. They're right in the thick of things. They can shore up this bullpen. All these indicators we talked about, this offense we're talking about, the runner scoring position we're talking about, the guys are coming back healthy again, right, as far as depth and everything. You can absolutely talk about this team being a wild card team this year. They have to take care of business. Ben's got to do his job. Ben has to do his job. Starters need to start doing their job. Bullpen has no help. They just need to be X'd. We just need to execute people in the bullpen, replace them. That's Ben's job. But this team absolutely is in the hunt and is in this race to be in the playoffs for 2026. Like no doubt.
They are. And they've, this first half, they've been here before. Like they've gone on little spurts where they went above 500. Like they were 16-11 and then they went back down to 500. And then they got some wins going. They were like 24-20 and right back down to 500. And then they did it again. They were, 34-29. And then they went on that Braves Dodgers series and they went right back down to 500. So like they've done this before where they've been 4 or 5 games up, 3, and they go right back to 500. Like they need to avoid that happening again. Like stay above, keep winning, make some moves at the deadline. And we mentioned this tough stretch they come out of the break with. It's on the road. Cleveland, you guys will be there, then New York, but they've played well on the road, like at least 500. So like, just avoid the little losing streak that puts you back at 500. Like keep playing 500 until you get hot or you get some reserves for the bullpen. And hopefully you can stay above that. You got to pass the Cardinals, you got to get the Cubs, and then you can talk about, being in the wild card race or, I keep playing the Brewers. Maybe we can catch them in the division. My goodness. gained 3 games on him over the weekend. But,
Apparently, yeah. Pirates own the
So,
Brewers this year. Who would have thought?
right. Yeah, it's Yellowbeard here says, is the Gonzalez acquisition a precursor for trading Nicky G? I don't think at this point, I'd say no. I don't think you can, at least they shouldn't. I don't think they should trade from the major league roster at this point. I mean, unless like the right deal shows up, which those are usually tricky to be like trading for, a major leaguer for a major leaguer. But
Right.
like, yeah, I would just, because I guess that even if you added a couple bats or something, like those guys go to the bench and they're very good coming off the bench. So I wouldn't be looking to trade him, but
yeah, I agree.
you're
I
gonna
think
have
that's
to trade
more
from
of
the
that's
minors.
the Connor replacement for now, or at least, like as we mentioned, that's the Triolo Gonzalez platoon at shortstop until Connor comes back. Again, the way I look at it, it's a short-term fix for that slightly with a long-term viewpoint. Like that's Gonzalez. They like what he's done with his swing. Maybe he can be a long-term future piece. Like Brendan Lau is going to be going away next year, so someone's going to play second. There's a third. If Gonzalez can be that guy that he was drafted to be, then that makes Brendan Lau going away a lot easier to swallow. So that's kind of a look at this. I don't think it's something where it's like, okay, now we got him, we can trade Nick Gonzalez or someone on this major league roster. I guess it's possible, and if the trade makes sense, but I don't think that's the design of this, right?
Right. No, I agree. And again, I mean, if you actually get a third baseman or somebody to move over, Nicky G could come off that bench, and we know what he's done with the bat this year. So it's just been his defense at third because he's out of position. There's like 3 guys out of position. So that's another thing to work about. Good. But no. But to me, it's all bullpen.
I'm still my stomach is still rolling with that throw to home plate with Henry Davis. That yeah.
And it was funny because
went a whole different way than the Brewers.
Was it Yelich coming from third? Like he was surprised and he just kind of like stopped, and then like Henry Davis just like stood there like, did I get the out? Like it was the weirdest double play. Like, and you just like, you're just holding your breath because you're like, you see him throw home, and that usually never turns out well. But
no. Yeah. So
they both just kind of stopped. And it was like, tag you. Okay, game's over.
Right.
So,
but anyways, I guess to sum it up, the first half is, I guess, how would you rate the first half?
Like a grade? You want a grade?
Yeah.
I think because it's like you could give him an A or you could give him a D, but I guess I'll go in the middle. I guess you got to even it out. I'll say B. I saw someone, I think early in this chat, say B-. I'm going to go B-. I think that's good.
I'm going to go B, straight solid B. And the reason I do say that is that, again, like there's a lot of struggles, but March 15th, Ryan, you're told also break this team is 3 games above 500. How would you feel? Like, would you say, oh, I got to probably give him a B or an A or something?
Probably a B, probably in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's how I look at it. Like it's just been done differently. It's been a wild event. It's been a long, frustrating, emotional journey. But at the end of the day, they're 3 games above 500 and they're in the thick of things. Like I know they're not in the wild card right now, but that's why I guess I give it a B because like as much as
they're alive. Yeah.
The bullpen and the struggles, like this offense is just so damn good. No one expected this offense like this. So I guess I look at it as a B. Again, they're 3 games above 500. I will take that. Given that the way this team was built, you kind of look that this team is probably going to be a team that might finish the year 3 games above 500, and that's it. So at the break, the 3 games above 500, I got to give them a B.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. It's just I'm going B- just because I watched the first half and it was like there were so many. They left. What's the thing? They left some on the table that I think they could have been. They could have had a much better first half. It could have been worse too, but they left a lot on the table. Like there was a lot of games that they had won and it just didn't. They didn't get it done. So yeah, so I'll go B-. But again, they ended on a nice note. They're right there. They got to take advantage of it and keep it going. So, and meanwhile, fix the bullpen. Fix it, Ben.
Fix it. All right, let's get out of here.
Do it now.
So it's the All-Star break. Jim's already on his break. He's on his vacation. But yeah, like that's pretty much it for it. We don't have like any more shows lined up and such because of the All-Star break. And as mentioned, Paul Skeens and Braxton Ashcraft are All-Stars. They're going to be in Philly. We saw them on the plane last night. We did. If you did it or not, they're on the plane. They're going to Philly, but they're not playing. They won't be partaking in the All-Star game. So
did they definitely announce that for Ashcraft?
Because they who was it? I forget. They announced
I figured the rain out. Okay, I figured the rain out Friday kind of did that in.
Same. But since he pitched on Saturday, it's gonna be too close. So yeah, they have the action.
I'm fine with it. These guys need a rest. Go enjoy the red carpet, Braxton, Livy, and Paul. But yeah, get these guys a break.
Yeah, I'm good with it too. But I'm alluding to is there's nobody, there's no Pirates that's going to be partaking in any of the festivities. So it just kind of is what it is. So yeah, we'll be back also, I guess, when they play the Guardians on Friday. We'll have an NS9 live on Thursday night in Cleveland. I think it's probably going to be at the Airbnb because by the time everyone gets in and stuff. So probably at the Airbnb, and then we'll be at the games all weekend. We did announce it. So Saturday before the Guardians game at 11 a.m., we'll be at the Whistle. It's like adjacent to the ballpark. So it's kind of right there. So if you're going to the game, that's what we'll be at beforehand. So come along. There's nothing formal set up. We're just going to be hanging out, drinking some beer, having some food, and go to the game. So, but we'll be at all three games. But on Saturday, 11 o'clock, we'll be at the Whistle beforehand. So come join us.
The North Shore 9 invades downtown Cleveland. Should be a good one.
We're going to class that place up, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Do you know? Well, I guess you know.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you know because we talked about it, but there's no tailgating allowed. That's stupid.
I feel like I have to see that in person. Like I know Jim looked it up, but I'm like, was it just like a bad information website or is that true? Like that doesn't make any sense. Who's banning? And speaking of bans, there's Buck and Mike. Who's banning tailgating before a game?
I don't know.
I thought this was America, DiNardo.
I guess Cleveland. Cleveland hates America.
I guess so. What is happening here? Yeah, that's weird. So I won't be there.
There goes our credentials.
I may be there for Friday, but I definitely won't be there for Saturday. It's my daughter's birthday party. But you got to let me know if there's tailgating going on because I don't believe it.
Okay, I will. But yeah, that's why we're not doing a tailgate and we're going to the Whistle because apparently tailgating is banned. So anyways.
Craziness.
We are out of here. Download the app if you haven't. Go to our website, check it out. All kinds of crazy, nice features and new ones that are happening. And then I guess we'll be back Thursday to see you all. So until then, bye-bye.
Peace.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.